There is a girl in South Korea who is looking for her Barbie doll. After she finds it, a light appears from behind her, which turns out to be a giant monster walking around her neighborhood. Suddenly, a strong wind blows from the monster's direction, and finally, the girl screams as loud as she can. 25 years later, after that incident, there's a woman named Gloria who lives in an apartment in the United States. Gloria is a writer who is unemployed, who has a habit of drinking liquor, and she stays in her boyfriend's apartment, named Tim. So after seeing Gloria come home, Tim becomes angry and fed up, seeing her habit of always getting drunk. At that moment, Tim had already packed her belongings, asked her to leave his apartment, and he also broke up with her. After seeing Tim leave, Gloria's friends come into her unit, while Gloria is still shocked after being dumped by her boyfriend. As a result, she has no choice but to return to her hometown and stay in her family's house, which has been abandoned for a long time. When she brings a piece of furniture to be her bed that she bought, she accidentally meets her childhood friend, Oscar, who now runs his late father's bar. He is surprised to see Gloria and wants to take her out because they haven't met for a long time. Gloria is forgetful, so when they talk about Oscar's mother, who died before his father, she replies that she just learned about that, even though Oscar remembers that she once came to the funeral. Arriving at Oscar's bar, Gloria feels amazed seeing his large bar while scratching her head. This makes Oscar ask what she does, which Gloria replies that her head often feels itchy whenever she feels nervous, and then Oscar teases her like a monkey. Sometime later, Oscar's two friends, named Garth and Joel, arrive, polite to hang out, and sometimes help him at the bar. To make their conversation better, Oscar gives a bottle of liquor to Gloria, which makes her confused about whether to drink or not. But because she feels uncomfortable with Oscar, she relapses and drinks again. Finally, Gloria gets drunk, and Joel wants to make a move on her because he likes her. This makes Oscar unhappy, thinking that Joel wants to make Gloria worse again. However, Gloria calms both of them, reasoning that this is just the effect of being drunk and just for fun. Because Oscar has to manage his bar, Gloria goes home while bringing her things, still drunk. But something strange happens. The clouds suddenly turn dark when Gloria walks across a children's playground. However, she doesn't realize it, keeps walking to her house, and falls asleep while arranging her new furniture. She wakes up the next morning and still wants to answer a phone call from her ex, Tim, even though they already broke up. Tim informs her that something went viral on the internet, which is a city of Seoul in South Korea being attacked by a monster last night, which shocks Gloria. Her shock increases when she sees a video from netizens who record the monster attack, just like being attacked by Godzilla. Tim then admits that he worries about her and thinks that if Gloria still hoped for them to be together, he suggests that she seek help from a professional for her liquor addiction. Not feeling good hearing that, Gloria immediately ends the call before she goes back to hang out at Oscar's bar. There are many people watching the monster video that keeps walking, and some moments later, its body disappears from the scene. As a result, many people die from the monster attack, and many people are evacuated from the affected area. At that time, Gloria remembers Tim's call and becomes troubled about her liquor addiction. Even though she already tries to talk about it properly, Tim still refuses to talk with her because he knows she still gets drunk. One day, Oscar comes to Gloria's house to give her a big TV. Gloria admits that she feels happy to get a surprise, but Oscar corrects her that Gloria herself asked for the TV, and once again her forgetful habit relapses. They then talk about the monster, which often does strange movements and often appears at night in South Korea. That incident also happened 25 years ago, which makes Gloria wonder, especially since the incident also happened at night. Oscar then remembers about Gloria, who wants to work in his bar, which she doesn't remember, and coincidentally, Oscar is really looking for a waitress. So Gloria declares that she is serious about working at his bar, and she started working there. In the middle of her work, Gloria starts wondering, seeing the monster doing the same movements as she did before, from scratching her head, throwing her phone, to carrying items. And all that happens when she is in the children's playground area at 8 a.m. with the sound of sirens around the playground. To make sure of it, she investigates the place until she strongly suspects that the monster's movements come from her. Then she enters the playground to test it and makes 2 hand gestures. After that, she checks on TV with a monster that appears at night in South Korea, and it really does the same gestures as Gloria. Finally, Gloria becomes shocked until she falls asleep and wakes up with the pain she feels. She then tells her discovery to Oscar and his friends and asks them not to tell anyone. At the playground, Gloria asks everyone to watch her walk while watching the live stream on the South Korean site, with the monster about to appear. She walks into the area, and the monster appears, doing the same movements as Gloria. This makes the three men shocked, and they do not believe what they see. When she dances, the monster gets shot by the military station there, and this is also felt by Gloria. As a result, she becomes upset, acting like fighting, and accidentally makes a helicopter there explode. This makes her feel guilty and panicked, and she wants to run to the river near the monster, while Oscar approaches to calm her. But suddenly, Gloria is shocked after hearing her friend scream, and she slips and falls to the ground, as well as the monster that falls into the residential area. Finally, Gloria feels guilty, trying to be comforted by Oscar, before he tells her that something else has happened. It turns out that a robot the size of the monster appears near Gloria, which Oscar believes must be himself, with evidence from the video before Gloria falls to the ground. After that, the two of them talk about it in a cafe, where Gloria believes that the monster already exists since they were in elementary school, based on the news of its first appearance 25 years ago. From that fact, they talk about what happened when they were in elementary school, and remember that when they wanted to go to school, they often passed through the playground area. But at that time, there was no playground yet, and it was still a construction site with trees. They then look for a way of what they can do, and decide to make a donation to South Korea, while asking the donation staff to make writings in the Korean language. Those words are written by Gloria in South Korea with the help of the monster, by telling everyone in front to move aside first. After it is safe, she starts to write her message, until finally the words appear, "Forgive me, yesterday was a mistake, and it will not happen again." Even though she has already given her apology, the government and the military are not convinced by her statement. But not for some other people who believe that the monster is actually not evil. From that act, Gloria starts to avoid the playground, while also improving herself so as not to drink liquor anymore. One day, when she hangs out at Joel's house, she sees the news about the robot that appears in the middle of downtown, which means Oscar is at the playground making trouble. So she quickly goes to the playground to tell him to leave the area. But at that moment, Oscar becomes surprised seeing Joel, who is actually together with Gloria, and it seems to make Oscar jealous. Seeing Oscar, who doesn't want to leave, and instead raises the issue about Gloria killing many people, Oscar gets slapped by her. Finally, Oscar leaves too, and while feeling annoyed, he tells Gloria to work harder. But from that incident, the monster is considered to have actually protected soul, even becoming a meme from the slap to the robot. That night, after the bar closes, Oscar, who gets drunk, insults his friends at the bar and asks Gloria to drink his liquor, or else he threatens to return to the playground if she refuses. Gloria is forced to take the drink, but instead of drinking, she pours out all the contents until it's empty. As a result, Oscar becomes angrier and goes to the playground, and Gloria realizes that Oscar is drunk, so she quickly chases him. Because she also feels upset, she wants to slap Oscar, which he actually allows. But instead of slapping, Gloria punches him, which Oscar says she must not do. But Gloria punches him again, which makes Oscar start to attack her, until finally Gloria becomes very upset, saying that she doesn't want to work in his bar anymore. But Oscar refuses by threatening to destroy the entire playground area. After the commotion, Joel comes to Gloria's house to inform her that Oscar regrets his actions. Joel's arrival is also to give many household items from Oscar as an apology. Because of this, Gloria comes to Oscar's house to ask for his explanation, and he says that he really wants to apologize. Finally, they both reconcile, before Gloria returns home and receives a call from Tim. He informs her that he is staying at a hotel in Gloria's area, so she goes there to meet him. There, they talk about Gloria's new life, but Tim responds negatively to Gloria's current job because she works in a bar close to liquor. Feeling that Tim doesn't understand her current life situation, Gloria wants to leave before Tim realizes that he has hurt her feelings. As his apology, Tim takes Gloria back to work at the bar, where Tim meets Oscar, who is there. At first, Oscar greets him well, but some moments later, when they talk, Oscar starts to show his displeasure with Tim's arrival. He then makes it clearer by taking a large firework, which frightens the guests. The firework explodes, which makes Gloria and Tim run away. But they're stopped by Oscar, saying that Gloria cannot leave with Tim. This makes Gloria realize that Oscar actually likes her since her arrival in a hometown. This is reinforced by Oscar, who once told that he almost got married 6 years ago, but unfortunately failed, and now there is Gloria who attracts his attention. Meanwhile, for Tim, his arrival is actually because he wants to get back with Gloria. Now, because Gloria knows that Oscar will destroy Seoul, she is forced not to go with Tim. Tim then decides to leave, but he tells her that he will still wait until tomorrow before he goes back to his hotel. Arriving at home, Gloria is surprised by Oscar, who has been waiting for her, and reveals that he actually has a spare key from Gloria's parents long ago. His purpose is to stop Gloria from calling her ex, because Oscar wants to make sure Gloria does not get back with her ex again. This makes Gloria think this guy is really possessive, and she scratches her head again. From scratching her head, she remembers their past, when they once made a diorama as their school project, with Gloria making a diorama about South Korea. At that time, there's a strong wind that blows Gloria's diorama until it bounces into the tree area, so Oscar tries to retrieve it. After seeing Oscar successfully find her diorama, Gloria becomes shocked because Oscar instead stomps on her diorama, feeling jealous because Gloria's diorama looks better than his. Finally, this makes Gloria very angry with the appearance of a lightning strike from the sky, and the lightning is planted right above her head. Because Gloria is actually carrying the monster toy in her bag, and she is very angry, the monster magically appears in Seoul. This also happens to Oscar, who carries the robot toy and makes the robot appear in Seoul, too. Now the tree area has turned into a children's playground, and the two giants are actually the manifestation of both of them. After remembering that past, Gloria starts to realize Oscar's true nature, which comes from his own hatred, feeling that his life is very small, very simple, and miserable. Because of this, Gloria decides to go with Tim. But some moments later, the siren sound is heard, which means the time will reach 8 a.m. So Oscar quickly goes to the playground to destroy Seoul, which of course is stopped by Gloria. In the end, they both arrive at the playground, and they start fighting. Gloria tries to protect Seoul, but because Oscar's power is stronger, Gloria unfortunately gets defeated. After that fight, Oscar says that Gloria may go home with her ex. But Oscar threatens that if every morning Gloria is not here, he will do this. As a result, the number of people killed in Seoul increases again, and Gloria goes home with a bruise on her eye. Suddenly, she sees the line map from the United States to South Korea flipped, which gives her a great idea. At that time, Tim is forced to return to his apartment without Gloria, while Gloria herself is seen on a plane. But when Tim arrives at his apartment at night, he receives a call from Gloria, who says that she is now in a country, which turns out to be South Korea. This makes Tim confused about what happens, so he wants to ask for an explanation, because he feels Gloria owes him an explanation. But Gloria replies that Tim already threw her out of his apartment because he saw her liquor addiction, and he could not help her deal with the problem. Therefore, Gloria admits that her condition now is more than just the liquor addiction, and she wants to handle this condition in her own way. As a result, Tim doesn't know where Gloria is, and not long after that, the siren sounds, signaling that it is time for the battle. Oscar's robot appears at 8 in the morning in the United States, and starts to create panic in Seoul at night. But right before he can cause destruction, suddenly an earthquake happens in the playground area, which actually means the monster comes directly to him. This is because Gloria comes straight to the place where the monster always appears, which connects with the playground spot in the United States. Seeing the monster become angry, Oscar becomes terrified and wants to run away. However, Gloria already knows the position where Oscar runs, and she manages to catch him, as well as his robot. Gloria then lifts him closer to her face, thinking she wants to eat him. As a result, Oscar cries, begging not to do it. But not long after, his sadness quickly changes into anger, shouting for her to put him down. Knowing this, Gloria and her monster fling Oscar and his robot far away. And finally, both of them disappear to somewhere unknown. After the monster disappears, all the people in South Korea celebrate this. And finally, the situation in Seoul finally returns to normal again. Gloria then wants to hang out in a bar and asks the waitress if she wants to hear a great story. Colossal movie ends with the waitress answering that she does want to, then offering whether Gloria wants to drink, and finally, Gloria refuses it with a deep sigh. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss the latest recaps.